Thank you. My friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and classmates. Usually at events like this, a lot of time is spent pondering the future. But at this time, I would ask that you direct your attention to where you are at this exact moment. To your left is the school where you have spent the last few years of your life, where you have studied, learned, struggled, and grown. You have your routines, friends, perhaps current and former lovers, and of course, your memories. You have a life here, a life that you yourself have built, a life that, as we speak, is changing. You may not want it to, whether because you don't want to change your ways, or because, like me, there are people here who just don't want to leave. Or perhaps you can't wait, and are excited about closing this chapter of your lives and beginning a new one. Whichever one it is, time has its hand on all our backs and is pushing us, urging us to continue on. In front of you are your families, whose support, care, and undying love guided you from start to finish. A college diploma should not just be seen as a sign of accomplishment for the student. It should be seen also as an accomplishment of the family who, despite any mistakes, have fulfilled with distinction and honors the task of raising their child. All of our successes, all that we seem to have achieved by our own devices, is all connected in some way to you. You, our parents, brothers, sisters, lifelong friends, mentors, you are as much responsible for our presence here as we are. And I ask my fellow classmates to join me in thanking you for all that you have done. And on your right, over the ridge, is the world. A place sometimes beautiful and inviting, and other times cold and dispiriting. It has brought prominence to some and despair to others. It's a maze for which there's no clear pathway through, as it changes constantly. The loser now, the winner later, the slow one now, later fast. You cannot predict it, and any plan you make for it can easily be foiled with the slightest change in circumstance. But into this world we now go. But my friends, we should not fear the unknown. We must see the world not as an obstacle course trying to defeat us, but a piece of art waiting for our addition, our effect, our signature. Hold on to what you have learned, remembering that the absence of a classroom or a teacher does not mean you cannot still be a student. Though we may no longer be in school, we must never stop learning, because if there's one thing I've learned, it's to never believe for one instance that you know the world. Because just when you think you have even the most basic idea, the world seems to go out of its way to prove you wrong. I came to the school when I was 17. I was horrified. I didn't know what would happen, who I'd meet, and what I'd end up pursuing. The truth was, I didn't even know myself. My parents had guided me like faithful training wheels my whole life, and not that they weren't here, I wasn't sure if I could stand on my own. Well, I've fallen a few times, but I picked myself up. And I think that knowing you can pick yourself up is most important, because it makes you unafraid to fall. I've learned so much since I've been here, but the most important lessons may be what I learned about myself. I got to know me. I got comfortable with me. And if nothing else, I leave this school with a decent grasp of the person I see in the mirror. Maybe some of you had a similar experience. And if you have, like me, you now face a bigger challenge. You must show the world who you are. For the friendships you have made, do your best not to let them be strained by distance and time, for the world has grown more connected, and a goodbye no longer means the end. And any grudges you hold, let them go. For while we have much of our lives to live, we know too well that life is too short to spend in anger or spite. Look forward, my friends, to the beautiful places you'll see and the people you'll meet. Look forward to the friends you'll make and the memories you'll enjoy together. Look forward because the world is not just where we are going, it is where we belong. The only mistake you can make is to deny yourself what you are capable of doing. I ask only one thing of you. Live your life. Live a life on your terms, your choices, your goals. If you fail, remember that the greatest leaders began as failures. And when you succeed, remember where you came from and the people who helped you. Live so that in 30 or 40 years, when you look back, you can do so without a feeling of regret. Only a wish that you could have done just a bit more. True happiness does not come from money or awards. It comes from believing within ourselves that we have achieved our full potential, that we stood up and fought tooth and nail and now stand on a hilltop, bloodied and sore, but with a feeling that we have done something meaningful with our lives. That is happiness. That is the life we all deserve. I cannot predict the future, so I will settle for hope. I hope you all get home okay. I hope your careers are full of success and accomplishment. I hope your lives are full of happiness, joy, and love. Thank you.